Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. It's the weekend and you're probably just waking up. You're saying to yourself, hey Jonathan Clarke, I had school all week. What did you expect me to do? It's Saturday morning. It's really early. I'm catching some Z's. Well, if you're somebody who is going through that this morning, I understand where you're coming from. I totally get that because when I was in high school, I used to experience the same thing. And on the weekends, I used to be so excited to watch Disney Channel. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you used to watch Disney Channel when you were in high school? Yeah, I did because I loved the stars on the shows that Disney were producing years ago because it was so fun having the chance to grow up during things like the Disney Renaissance era and the era that was prided and captained by people like Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez, who I just knew were going to go on to be destined for greatness. And it was so fun being a Disney fan. But the one thing I've often thought about was what it would have been like to have grown up as a fan of Descendants of Zombies like all of you guys, because you guys make this new generation of Disney stars so incredible and so fun. I would have loved the opportunity to have grown up and experienced this generation of Disney stars for what it was worth, but at least I got the chance to experience it with all of you, and I had the chance to become a part of all of your lives because for some way or somehow, you guys have made me a part of the soundtrack of Descendants and Zombies, and I've had so much fun. I may be suffering from a zombie infection every morning when I push record for the first time, or I may think that a zombie apocalypse or an alien invasion is going to happen and break out at any given moment, but that's what's made me allow the opportunity to bring these videos to life, and that's what made these videos so fun for everybody. So if you're somebody who believes in kind of the same thing, I think this could be the YouTube channel for you. And you're probably someone who says, hey, Jonathan Clarke, I've been researching alien invasions and think zombie apocalypses are going to happen at any given moment just like you. So I'm going to subscribe here to this YouTube channel. Well, one should never believe scientific experts. That's the way I've often perceived this. And you should always be prepared for the inevitable, which are zombie apocalypses and alien invasions. And I seem to be the only guy who is crazy enough to prepare all of you for that. And I thought I've lived in a haunted house for forever, so again, that makes these videos so fun. So who out there is excited about this upcoming summer? We not only have Descendants 5 with Wonderland to look ahead to, we have Camp Rock 3. And it's been forever since we've gotten a Camp Rock movie, with new stars now coming in to make up the cast, Demi Lovato and Joe Jonas coming back to reprise their roles. And I'm really excited for them because it's been years since we've heard anything from Demi Lovato and Joe Jonas reprising their roles as part of the Camp Rock 3 cast. I think Alison Stoner is one of the only ones who is not coming back to reprise her role, and I'm going to miss her because she offered so much to the Camp Rock franchise, more than we expected her to, and I think she's going to be one of those stars that is just going to be missed that we can't do without, kind of like how Ruby Rose Turner has held a very special place in my heart for a very long time. You guys know that about me. I'm very passionate about Ruby Rose Turner and what she offered to this cast. Even though her time with the franchise was very short-lived, seemed to be very short-lived, she will never be forgotten. And I say this because Ruby just showed so much kindness to everybody she had the chance to work with. She not only brought the best set of herself, but she brought the best set of everybody she had the chance to work with. And I would have loved the opportunity to have seen Ruby Rose Turner work with somebody like Cameron Boyce. I really would have loved to have seen Ruby Rose Turner work with Cameron Boyce because Cameron Boyce and Ruby would have just created magic for this franchise. What it comes down to is who plays these characters and who brings these characters to life and how much heart and incentive they bring to the sets of Descendants of Zombies and every project they ever have the chance to work with. I've seen so much magic created as a part of this era, and I just wanted to be a part of this era because of all the magic I had the chance to see created for Descendants of Zombies and how much these people who brought these characters to life, how much these characters meant to them. Deep within their heart, these characters have obviously held a very special place for a very long time, and if I was going to say anything about your favorite characters like Cameron Boyce, Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, who eventually became Kylie Cantrell, Ruby Rose Turner, God love Ruby, I was going to have to say something nice. I didn't want anything to do with the critics out there who didn't want to give Descendants of Zombies much of a chance. I was here out of love and support for you and because of you, because let me tell you something. I know the reason why I get the chance to sit in this chair is because of some girl out there who loves Descendants of Zombies with all their heart. You know, guys don't really, take fond of Descendants of Zombies. They don't really think that much over it. But girls love it with all of their heart. So I know the reason why I'm sitting here in this chair is because of some 9-year-old girl who loves Descendants of Zombies with all of their heart, who has made me one of the biggest names in the history of Descendants of Zombies. This happens because of you. It may not happen because some guy never wanted to take a chance on Descendants of Zombies and they think Descendants of Zombies is really weird. This happens because of you. and what you see in these videos and what you've seen in me. You've obviously seen something special in my voice being associated with Descendants of Zombies, and I appreciate you for how you feel about these franchises and how much life you give it, and how much incentive you've given your favorite characters, because you are where the inspiration comes from for the characters, for people like me who sit in these chairs and record these videos for you guys, which often doesn't happen enough. I think there are a lot of AI videos, fake teaser trailers, rumors that are being speculated on about friendships like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker for far long enough, and I think that if we're going to have a conversation about Descendants of Zombies, that's what we should have. That's what it should be, a conversation about Descendants of Zombies and how you think mermaids are going to show up from out of nowhere and offer so much unpredictable feelings to the franchise, or characters like witches and sirens and so many supernatural lore, so much of a supernatural lore we have yet to experience, like a beautiful love story between Nova and Victor. Not just supernatural lore, but a beautiful love story between Nova and Victor, who so many people love so much. I've seen your guys' posts about Malachi Barton. You guys are really in to Malachi Barton. You know, I wish I was as good looking of a guy as what Malachi Barton is. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't wish that I wasn't as good looking as Malachi Barton, so he's kind of one up to me, but he's a really cool guy. And he's one of these exceptionally down-to-earth guys that you guys just can't help but love, and I found time in appreciating that. I really did, along with the friendship between Malachi Burton and Freya Sky. And why do you think that was, guys? It was because they were there for each other every step of the way. They were friends like we wish we had. For every single person, I don't care who you are, you wish you had a friend like Malachi Burton or Freya Sky who would call you just to support you, just to show love and support, just to let you know that they were there for you every step of the way. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you always wanted that one phone call from that one friend that you could always depend on, that would never, ever quit on you. And I think a lot of us saw that in the friendship of Freya Sky and Malachi Burton. That was without a doubt. And that's what I wanted to support, because I saw something special in them. I really did. The chemistry for them was off the charts. The original cast of Zombies saw something special in them from the very first moment they stepped onto the set of Zombies. Meg Donnelly and Mila Manheim obviously took something special away from them every single time they ever had the chance to work with them, because they created such magic. But the one thing, despite all the magic they created, that stood out to me about them were they were incredibly supportive of each other, like Mila Manheim and Meg Donnelly always were of each other. I know when Meg Donnelly was a part of the Brokeback Mountain musical, he was there for her, and we see the kind of same things, the same kind of traits, the same kind of qualities in the friendship of Freya Sky and Malachi Burton that we just can't help but find time and appreciating. You guys have made Descendants of Zombies without a doubt so special for so many wonderful people who will always take something special away from this, and that's really incredible. You know, numbers really have never told me a whole lot about Descendants of Zombies. I know that over $40 million for a budget was allocated for Zombies 3. That was the biggest budget ever for a Disney Channel original movie that was ever allotted. And they really ran away with the Zombies 3. And within 10 days, I think it was, over 9.3 million of you had watched Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires on Disney+. But what tells me everything about Descendants of Zombies is your guys' heart and dedication. I don't really pay close attention to numbers or ratings or reviews that people have posted online, because pretty much they are people who don't appreciate Descendants of Zombies. Who has always appreciated Descendants of Zombies are each and every one of you who have always taken something special away from the franchises and their stories, because for a beautiful franchise, you also have to have a beautiful story. A beautiful story that, let me rephrase that, a beautiful story that needs to make perfect sense for people of all different age demographics to have such a cultural impact. In order for one to have a chance of going down in history for being the greatest of all time, the greatest content creator to ever do it, he or she has to have a cultural impact, which many of them never tell you. But that's what they have to have, is a cultural impact and affect so many cultures. And all those cultures have to come together and create something special, because they see something special in that one person who's always had that dream of going down in history for being a legend. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you make everything make perfect sense. That's why I'm subscribing to you. I know more about Descendants of Zombies than I ever have at 8:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Well, that's how I always wanted to do it. I always wanted to make everything make perfect sense for you guys, so that you would know that this guy had a whole lot of heart and a whole lot of dedication to who and what you loved most of all, who. you love, because I had issues with people like Collie Control crying every night on YouTube because of things that were being posted about them. I really did. And I wanted to take that away because I saw a beautiful girl in Collie Control who may have just had reoccurring roles on shows like Raven's Home and Berserk, which Logan Paul may have taken exception to on his podcast Impulsive many months ago because he couldn't stop making inappropriate comments about Berserk. And I kind of took exception to that because Collie Control was a beautiful person. She was a beautiful person through and through, so I didn't think that anybody ever had the right to say anything about Collie Control. So if anything I was going to do, I was going to come out of love and support for Collie Control every single time. I was going to love Ruby with all of my heart. I was never going to be afraid to let the world know how I truly felt about them because you guys were going to come along for this incredible journey that I love being a part of so much. If there was one thing that I would have the chance to experience over and over again, it would have had to have been Descendants of Zombies and your love and your passion for something so special that you created. I never created it. You guys created it and made me the voice of Descendants of Zombies, which I've never been able to say thank you enough for. Because your love and appreciation blows that YouTube channel out of the water every single time. You blow my mind every single time I ever talk about Descendants of Zombies, so thank you so much. Thank you so much again and again for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time and thinking mermaids are real. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, what are you talking about, man? We've always believed that mermaids are real. We think that everything we see on Disney Channel is real. Well, if you are somebody who thinks that everything you see on Disney Channel is real, what I want you to do is keep on believing that. Please keep on believing that. Because you only have one life to live. When you truly sit down and put everything into perspective, which I know a lot of you really can't do because you're still too young and you still got a long way to go, but let's try to put everything in perspective for you guys, okay? When you really sit down and put everything into perspective, you only have one life to live and only so many opportunities to make every chance that you're presented with count. So if you've ever had a dream, let's run away with those dreams and let's make them possible. And you're probably saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, I'm only 9 years old. I still got so long way to go. Well, years ago, I was in the same position you were. And what do you think I wanted to do with my life? Some way or somehow, I wanted to become a legend because that's how stories are created, by legends who build beautiful stories and have some unpredictable things happen to them for no unexplained reason. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to become a legend. Like Spider-Man, or Johnny Cash, or Michael Jackson, or the Power Rangers, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Cowabunga Dudes, and have a chance of riding in the Scooby-Doo van, or fighting alongside the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the Power Rangers, or being an action hero for everybody in Descendants of Zombies, who would go eventually on to become everybody's favorite Descendants character of all time. And that's what made this so fun for me. So for over 25 years, I tried to build the legacy, but I quickly realized that I couldn't build the legacy with the love and support of every fan of Descendants of Zombies, no matter who they are, how old they are, or how they feel about Descendants of Zombies, because I know that everybody feels differently. But again, that's what makes these franchises so special. That's what gives us something to hold on to and forever and always believe in. Because you guys have never quit on Descendants of Zombies, and I've never wanted to quit alongside of you. So if we're going to have these conversations about people like Collie Control, let's give them more incentive than ever before. Let's show them a lot of dedication and a lot of heart like they've shown us for events like the Worlds Collide Tour, premieres like Descendants 5 with Wonderland up and coming this summer, and let's give somebody something proud to feel about more than ever before. If you are somebody who loves Descendants of Zombies with all of your heart, point being, ladies and gentlemen, I would love for you to subscribe here to this YouTube channel. And of course, I believe in Descendants of Zombies just as much as what you do, and I think that this summer is going to be one of the biggest we have ever had the chance to experience. The outfits are beautiful, the hairstyles are gorgeous, they themselves are gorgeous, they are so strong, they are so unbelievable, and that deserves to be supported, and that deserves to be encouraged. And you're probably saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, this is the best Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel I have ever watched. The greatest of all time. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Well, if you are saying that with all of your heart, thank you so much, because I could have never been able to do this without all of you. Your love and support is what this comes down to, and your love and support is what's always mattered to me as the host of this show. And to be honest with you guys, I would have never had it any other way. So if you would love to subscribe to this YouTube channel, I would love for you to be a part of it, because you guys are what puts the magic behind every video I've ever had the chance to create, because this has been so much fun. Having the chance to represent all of your lives as the voice behind Descendants of Zombies has been an opportunity and a chance. This chance is a chance I will never ever forget. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for believing in Descendants of Zombies with all of your heart, and thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel time and time again as obviously what has become your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Thank you so much for watching these videos, and thank you so much for believing in Descendants of Zombies, and each time watching Descendants of the Rise of Red, feeling as if you're watching it for the very first time ever, because again, that's what's made these franchises so special. That's what's given us something to hold on to and forever and always believe in, and that's what it comes down to, and that's what's always mattered most to me. It's never been about any other opportunity, only to sit here and talk about Descendants of Zombies. While I may have had other opportunities offered and extended to me, this opportunity is one that I will never ever forget and always cherish because of you. Thank you so much for having Descendants of Zombies mean so much to each and every one of your hearts, and as always, thank you so much for having watched this video.